Jess, thank you very much for joining me today. We're talking a little bit around resilience and change and how we overcome that, hopefully. So can you give me an example of when you've been through a situation of change or you've had to be really resilient in your career?
Hi, Alex. Pleasure to be here. Yeah, absolutely. So what springs to mind is when I stepped into the client service manager role for the South. I went from a regional role based in the Bristol office to a more national role. And that really tested my resilience because I had more responsibility in central projects and the delivery of those. And with the delivery of those comes setbacks, challenges, feedback. So to navigate all of that really pushed me out of my comfort zone. I worked with a lot more stakeholders and senior management across the business. That was really scary at first. But ultimately, I learned some good leadership skills and I found my confidence that my input, my vision, my opinions were really valued. I also hosted a lot more meetings in this role, chaired them, attended them, and I was able to find my voice within this business. I learned so much and I'm still learning. And some of those lessons have been learned the hard way through setbacks, mistakes, or just things I would look back and think I'd have done that differently. So I think I'm still building confidence and I'm still learning to be more resilient. And I don't think there's an end date to resilience. You continue to grow across your career. And then moving on to how that led me to some success would be really focusing on unifying the South, trying to make sure our voice and our thoughts were represented in the centre. And that was replicated by my colleagues who are client service managers in other regions. So we really had a structure and we worked very well together. I also supported colleagues through development opportunities. I tried to ensure the region was well supported, well informed, and ultimately as equipped as they could be for the upcoming migration to support colleagues. That's not to say any of that was easy. There was a load of challenges, and whether that was process, procedure, people challenges, project challenges, or complex client queries, we worked together. I worked with my client service managers, and I'm really proud of everything that we achieved as a region. And it has been a real privilege to contribute to client service, whether that was from escalating issues or running off to find answers, delivering something new, or really just acting as a sounding board for my colleagues. And that's what the success feels like to me.
Yeah, absolutely. I think what you've said in the first part about, jumping into a role, I think a lot of people go through that if they end up going through a promotion or they go through a new job and they join a company. It's that sort of imposter syndrome. I mean, you never feel like you're deserving of the job, but you don't know how to do it, and you don't deserve it, but actually you do, and everyone should back themselves to some extent. And Jess, if I could ask you to think about one bit of advice you'd give to people who are going through, a difficult time in a company or person.
Yes, definitely. So I would say to try and approach change with an open mind. So some colleagues are naturally going through more change than others at the moment, and there is more change to come for everybody. It's really important to remember that every challenge or change that you've ever faced up to now, you've already got through that. So it's proof that you can do it. We all learn lessons along the way. And whatever you're feeling right now, whether that's positive or negative, is completely valid. But if I could give one takeaway, it would be to that next meeting or in your next email or just conversation with a colleague, try to bring some of that positivity, because not only could it brighten their day, but it could leave you in the right headspace to approach change in a real positive way.
Great. Thank you very much, Jess. That's been really useful.
Thank you, Alex.